All right, guys, welcome back to another live episode of Muscle Discord with, again, special guest Ron Harris from Ron Harris Muscle on YouTube. Welcome back, brother. Got IFBB Pro Phil Clay are back on the show, man. Welcome back for another one. Every Monday, guys, 9 p.m. Eastern, we are here updating you on the latest news and updates in bodybuilding. So, guys, there's lots to talk about. Before I jump into that, I just want to make sure my audio is set. I didn't do that. I was on a call right before I jumped on here. Okay, good. Okay. All right. So lots to talk about. We are what, like 5 days out from the Arnold?
Yeah.
5 days out. Lots of updates. I got a lot of YouTube videos queued up. We're gonna check out all the guys. We're gonna check out their updates. I got one from James Hollingshead, and no one's talked about this one. I was like, why isn't anyone talking about this? Is a good update. So I'll show that one. We can maybe update our predictions. Like I said, the ones we did prior aren't final. So we'll go into that. But I got a list here. First off, let's start with, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to our trusty, what's his face? Behind the scenes, TV or whatever it's called right there. This guy.
Beyond the stage.
Yeah, beyond the stage. Go over here. Like that. Okay, so the Kai Greene. Let's start with Kai Greene. I didn't get to talk to you guys about the Kai Greene thing. So I want your opinion. We did a little bit in the comments, but didn't really, go further than that. There it is.
Yeah.
Kai Greene. Is he coming back? First off, and if he comes back, is he going to do the Masters? Phil Clay, I want to hear you first on this one.
I don't know what to expect from Kai Greene.
Yeah.
I think Generation Iron dropped a video with him. It's a Pro-Am company. He's starting up. I have a feeling that's his comeback. I could be wrong.
Yep.
Listen, man, if he comes back, he comes back. But, he said this, year after year. It's funny because, Phil Heath was at the White House getting some love.
There you go.
I don't know if Kai Greene liked that. So Kai
Yeah.
Greene had to, come up with his own thing to get some attention. But no, I don't think he's going to come back.
Well, now I think he's doing something with the Manions, like some company. I'm not sure if I heard this properly on RX Muscle, but there's like he's going to be at the booth at the Pittsburgh Pro, and there's something going on there, and that's what he's coming back. Like I don't think he has a sponsor right now. I don't think he has a supplement sponsor or anything like right now. So I think he's signing with a new supplement company, and because of that, that's part of the comeback. He needs to kind of revive himself, get back out there. And then he goes on the Cutler cast today saying that I'm not retired. No, I'm not. Has it been 10 years? I don't know how long it's been.
9.
But 9 years. And then he goes on these long innuendos for 2 hours on the Cutler cast. And I couldn't watch. I just had to quickly skip through it to try and find parts. I just could not bear it. But Kai does this every year, every 2 years or so. I'll make it a comeback, whatever, and we all are like, okay, enough of this. Maybe the first few years he was doing it when he was like fresh after retirement, but it's 9 years later, and he's still doing this. And no, I'm not retired. I'm not. And he goes on the Color Cast today, and I'm not retired. Like, it just looks a little fake to me. Like, what do you guys like, Ron? What's your thoughts on this whole Kai Greene thing?
I mean, I love Kai. He's a great guy, but do I believe we're ever going to see him on stage? No. And I think it's 100% to make himself keep himself relevant, to get his name being talked about, and it worked. Everybody, all the outlets started posting about him and talking about him. Yeah. And you're right. Yeah, I looked. That was the first thing I looked, is because I know he hasn't been with Redcon for a minute. So the closest thing he had to a supplement sponsor was it's like a meal prep company that has protein snacks. So yeah, that's his big comeback. As far as not retiring, most guys never officially retire. They just never come back. I mean, we rarely see someone like Dexter made the speech on the Olympia stage. Dennis James did that. But most guys, they just kind of quietly fade away, and they never announce they're officially retired, but we know we're never going to see them again. And that's Kai. My question to you guys is, why would he stay this enormous? Because he is freaking huge. I mean, if you're never going to step on stage again to carry 270, 80 pounds at 5'8" and everything that it takes to do that, why would you want to do that? The guy's turning 50 in July.
Yeah, I think he just looks. I don't think he's nowhere near the size he was when he was active competing, but he's still got big quads and he's got size, got the big arms still. I think the chest is probably really downsized and his delts and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he does these guest postings in India. They pay him a lot of money. They bring him down there, so he's got to get that paycheck, stay big for that, right? And so I get why he's trying to stay big in a sense compared to other people that are retired, right, and around his age too. So yeah, I think Akai it would make sense for him to do the Masters, but I don't see him doing the Masters. Even I said I think it would be good for him to do it. I don't think he's gonna do the Masters. I think his comeback is coming back with a new sponsorship and he's back in the industry type of thing. That's the comeback, right? And he's just pulling it for everything he can. And then this other thing with Phil saying I'll be your coach, and then Kai responding like this.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's real, or do you think that's this fake?
They don't like each other. They do not like each other. Come on, we know this.
Yeah. And that's true. And then feels like we could have been on stage together. We could have done the opportunity to be on a panel together, and because Kai's still salty about it, they can't do things together. It's just why be salty? Why be this salty this many years later? And he is missing the opportunities to kind of be out there more and be doing things with Phil and Jay and all these guys. And he's just kind of behind the scenes. You see him pop up here and there. See him pop up in India. And that's about it. He's not really doing much more than that from what I can see. I don't know what you guys are seeing, but I don't really see him doing much more. So we'll see what this comeback is at the Pittsburgh Pro. It's guaranteed to sponsor something related.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yep.
Will he be on stage? No, I can't see it. I don't think he'd want to show his physique. I mean, he showed his physique, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
The last time he showed the physique, he was covered in paint.
Yeah, he's exactly.
What I mean? So there was definitely a reason why that was the case. So, I mean, like when Ron was asking, why does he stay that big? I mean, that's his image that's helping him make money. Yeah. I don't think it's a smart thing to do with his age. But I think if Kai Greene didn't look like this, then Kai Greene mentally don't believe he's Kai Greene. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of, there's some bodybuilders out there, pro and amateur, for some reason, they just don't know when to just say, hey, I don't need to keep putting this stuff in my body. It does take time off your life. I don't care what anybody says, it does. So if you're going to keep pushing the issue, you're not going to live long. The Phil Heath thing, man, I give props to Phil Heath because, when they compete against each other, of course, they did not like each other. Phil mindset was on a whole different level. And same thing in sports. You see football. These guys go at it on the field. And then, when they come off the field, they're cool. They hang out, they do things. Kai can't let it go. And I don't understand why. When I saw Phil after, he retired, when he competed, I didn't really like Phil. He just had that arrogant attitude, which was fine because as a bodybuilder, some of us have to display that to stay focused and stay on top.
Yeah.
But when he retired, he just became a whole different person. He had spoke about it. He just see life differently. So I respect him and applaud Phil Heath. I think Phil would love to be able to sit down with Kai and do some things, but Kai's very intelligent, as we all know. He loves to talk, so once you get him going, forget about it. He's just rambling on about all kinds of things. Yeah. But I just, don't understand him being selfish because I do think it is holding him back. Yes, he's making money, but I think it is holding back where he could be with everybody else. Ronnie Coleman, Phil Heath, Jay Cutler, and all these guys, and can do things together. So I hope someday it changes. I don't understand how somebody could stay that bitter so long.
Yeah, agreed. Chris Cormier saying he will return, I think. I'm hearing he's making an announcement about everything very soon. So yeah, Chris he's got the inside scoop on these things. So I mean, if he's hearing these things, he can make a comeback. I don't know if it's open. Chris, is it open or is it Masters? That's the question, right?
Throwing this out here, some pro messaged me, I won't say who.
Yeah.
They said they thought Kai was in trouble because he guest posed at something last year in Dubai that was not an IFBB Pro League event.
Oh.
And I don't think I'm telling a big secret here because everybody would have known about it anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he could be forgiven if he just made the right amends. But
well, if he's going to Pittsburgh, the Mannion show, I'm sure they've made the amends because
right.
yeah, he wouldn't be there. He wouldn't be invited to go.
True,
so
true.
yeah, so I think that's all good there. All right, so let's move on to Arnold updates here. So I want to show you guys. Can you see this? Yeah, I want to show you Coach Abdullah's updates here. You see that? Yeah, let's see. There we go. So that was I didn't talk to him about what his predictions were going to be before I did the interview with him yesterday. I said, just give me your predictions. And first play, I'm like, first for Derek. That was a little shocking to me. And he's got Samson in second, Andrew in third, Bonac in fourth,
ahead of Curry.
Which, yeah, and then Curry fifth. Akeem sixth, seventh James, which we're going to look at James, and maybe that could be there. I think some of us also have James in ninth for Phil. So yeah, interesting. And Sean Clarita in ninth.
Oh, come on, Abdullah.
Behind Carlos Thomas Jr. Yeah, so interesting predictions here. But after seeing more updates from Derek, I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you still sticking with your Samson easy win here, or is Derek going to give him more of a run for his money than people are expecting?
Honestly, I would never say anyone is going to get an easy win.
Yeah.
I just believe that Samson made the necessary improvements. Now, condition-wise, I don't know. I don't know. It may be the same as the Olympia. I don't know. I know he did put on some more size. I don't believe size is what he needed, but that's just me. So it's not 100%. I mean, if Derek comes in lights out on point and really conditioned, all he has to do is focus on winning a couple front shots and side shots, and he can win. I mean, the back shots, I don't think anybody's going to touch him in the back shots.
No. He looks pretty gnarly here. Like he looks big. He looks bigger than he normally does, which is what Chris Aceto is known for doing with his athletes, is getting them big. We're going to talk about Andrew Jack in a minute here. I also said that Derek seemed kind of like he's pissed off, just the way his attitude is. And like I was watching this little speech he gave here. I want to see what you guys think about this little speech he gives here.
Ooh, I can see he's angry. Can't hear it.
Can't hear?
Nah, you did that last week. For some reason, we can't hear when you play the video.
I have that on it worked on when I do my recordings on this, it works, but I don't know why the live is different for some reason.
He looks like he's pissed.
Yeah. Oh, that was the only thing I needed volume for was the Derek thing, but yeah. But anyways, it's just him like, you got nothing to lose. I got nothing. I was like, okay, wow, this is like I mean, I understand why he'd be upset. He got third. He was the great new hope for the Olympia. He got the 212 Olympia, and then he came in and won the Open Olympia, and he had momentum, and then he gets tossed down to third. So I could see how that could screw with your head. And,
yeah, but Matt, you can't really say he got tossed down to third. I mean,
true.
Yeah, he and if I hate to say it because I really like Derek, and we live in the same area. And I don't want him to take this personal, but I mean, Martin was right on his heel. So if you really, really want to look at it, I think that he got some serious respect because Martin was right there. It could have went either way. Okay. He got some respect, which, that's fine. I believe that, if you're not on point and you deserve to not place well, you just don't need to place well. So I'm not going to say he just didn't come in right, and he got the placing that he fully deserved. I tried everything to try to give him a reason to possibly take second on, in my opinion, but he just didn't look better than him. So it just wasn't possible. So now is his time. No, he does not. Well, I'm not going to say he doesn't have anything to lose, because he kind of do, because bodybuilding will hit you here. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if the placing don't go in his favor, yes, this is going to tax him mentally. I mean, the guy just had a baby. He's going to open up a huge gym that I know he invested a lot of money in. I just don't think he believed his career was going to go in this direction this fast. So I hope he do put it together and come in and kill it. That'll be great for the sport. Also good for the Olympia coming up. So we'll see.
I mean, Samson's actually got more to lose than Derek, if you think about it, because if Derek beats him, that's going to be a massive blow as far as Samson being the multiple Mr. Olympia that a lot of us think he's going to be. So Derek, nobody's expecting Derek to win. Everyone's expecting him second place. It's like written in stone in a lot of people's minds. So he's really got nothing to lose, because if he somehow pulls off a win here, good Lord, that's his stock is going to go way back up again. It's going to people will be talking about him and Hadi battling again, and Samson's going to be in the mix. I think it would make for a much more exciting Olympia if Derek does win, but we need to see what he looks like. We'll find out in 5 days. We're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there. We'll go to Carlos in a second. Let's go to Samson. His updates here. Do you think it's just some kind of filter on the video here? Look how what is happening here?
I've heard people say they think he filters his videos.
Look how contrasted it is.
It's great lighting, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think there's some kind of filter on the video, which is crazy. I would just film it, man. Don't put a filter on your video. But he looks good. Looks triceps look pretty gnarly. Big. I don't know. I mean, I think he's definitely, in my opinion, he's got a 95% chance of winning this show, based on his structure, his shape. His conditioning seems to be down point now. So I don't. Yes, if an improved Lunsford comes in and is a lot more impressive looking, that we're more used to seeing Derek, can he edge and get closer to taking Samson? I'm sure he can, but will he beat Samson? I think the Olympia likes Samson. I think Steve likes Samson. I don't think Tarek El Gundy liked when I know it's a little nitpicky thing to think about, but when Derek didn't want to take his shirt off at the training Olympians, and Tarek's like, take your fucking shirt off. He was pissed. He's like, dude, we're here. We fly you down here. You're fucking Mr. Olympia. You're not taking your shirt off. These other guys are willing to take their shirts off. They're not even the Mr. Olympia. So I think that sticks in them, and they're like, nah, third place. I'm not saying it's how it goes. That's just me.
But that would just be one judge. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I have my comment on that situation. I mean, I saw it. And honestly, and once again, this is just my opinion. I don't believe these are grown men. If he doesn't want to take his shirt off, I don't think anyone should curse at a grown man to do so. You get what I'm saying? It's just his choice. We have the right as grown men and independent contractors to choose if we want to do something or not. Now, Tarek is going to be aggressive because they want the eyeballs, they want the hits, they want, you know what I'm saying? And that's understandable. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we have to respect everybody as individuals and as adults. I didn't like how he spoke to Derek. I think Derek folded because at first he was standing up for himself, then he folded. Listen, if you can't stand up for yourself because you're scared your placing is going to fall, then you need not to bodybuild at all. You know what I'm saying? So that part I did not like. The forcing, basically verbally, for him to do so because the others were doing it. That I did not care for. Tariq is a nice guy. You know,
Yeah.
I've spoken to him. He's judged me quite a few times.
Yeah.
But we need not to just talk down on grown men. I mean, we're bodybuilders. We look like we're invincible, but at the end of the day, I mean, we have a heart. So Derek just needs to just stay who he is, be who he is, and continue to focus on the goal and get it done and accomplish that. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah, agreed. And I'm not saying any politics is at play here. I'm just be having fun. Like, I'm sure it has nothing to do with Derek placing third. I think it was just he was off for the Olympia, and that's why the other guys looked better, and that's why he placed third. So, Samson looking good. He's already in Ohio, so he's well. That's another thing. Let's go to Andrew Jack, because this guy, from what I see, he's still in, I guess, Dubai is where he trains or something. This is his last. This is his show. This was posted a couple hours ago. So maybe it's just an older video he's posting while he's on a flight to Ohio, I hope, so he can acclimatize and adjust. But so let's talk about RX Muscle. Chris Aceto and Dave were talking about Andrew, and he looks like Texas. He's got the Texas look, okay, that we all are kind of judging him looking at his best. Texas 2023, where he won. And then Dave asked Aceto, so how's he looking? And Chris was like, good. He's huge. And that worries me again when they go for that size thing with Andrew, because, he's got enough. Well, he needs a little bit more thickness from the side shots, the side quad and stuff like that, to kind of hang with Samson. But my fear is that, and another thing too, he's not in LA training with Michael Lewis, which I guess he didn't do when he went to Texas before. He just came straight from Dubai and went to Texas and won it. So is that a good thing? That he's not, maybe it works better for him? I don't know. Because whenever he goes to Psycho Lewis's camp and trains there for like 2 weeks, and then he goes to the Olympia and he does not look like we think he should look. But when he just kind of does it on his own and goes straight to the show, seems to have a better faring. So maybe that's the strategy here. He's just going to go straight to Ohio, do it himself. That's it. Maybe he's just better at home versus going to LA and living in someone's bedroom for 2 weeks and just out of place, right? So what's your guys' thoughts on Andrew Jack going into this show? You still have him in, I think every one of us had him in third, I believe, in our predictions. So do we still have him there? Based on what we're seeing?
I can't change it, because the fact is, like I said, I'm just going off of his last look, and that's what the judges does as well. They go at your last look. You have to come improved. If he brings that Texas look, it depends how everybody else looks. Yes, he stands tall. He's a big boy. I just don't. I'm going to keep him in third, and I think about him staying home. I think that's a big deal, man. I mean, of course, we're seeing that with Brandon. You know what I'm saying? You're more comfortable. You're relaxed. You're not stressed. You're saving money. I mean, you don't have to pay somebody to train you as well. And listen, probably some of the movements that Psycho Lewis does probably just doesn't work for him. Normally, when a bodybuilder don't go back to that, there's something that they're not comfortable with. It could be not being there, like you said, sleeping in somebody else's house or couch or whatever. I'm pretty sure they make sure he's well comfortable. But I think being at home in your element, because I'm like that too. I would never be able to survive traveling somewhere and just train there. It'll never happen. I have to be home. I got to be around my grandkids. I got to be around family and friends. You know what I mean? That keeps me motivated and focused. So I think it's a good idea that he's there. I hope he's already here. But I keep him in third. I keep him in third until I see differently.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ron?
Yeah, first of all, I knew that had to be an old video because he's much leaner than that now. Yeah. The whole thing about someone training you the last month before a show, I think it doesn't have that much relevance how you're going to look on stage, honestly, because all you're doing that last few weeks is just maintaining your muscle. You're dieting off the last little traces of body fat. I don't think a trainer, to me, has far more value in the off season, as far as, especially someone like you said, he needs more thickness in the side shots. He needs those hamstrings to come out, more more of a drop to those hams, a little more sweep from the side to the quads. Someone like a Psycho Lewis or any really great trainer, Charles Glass, anybody that's got that ability, Milos is great too, to really bring up weaker or lagging body parts on a bodybuilder. But somebody training you right before a show, it doesn't matter. You're just holding on to your muscle while you get those striated glutes popping.
It's already built. Yeah. Totally agree. Like this whole going to, I like Chris, like Lewis, I've had him on the show. Great trainer, knows what he's doing. Does it really help Andrew? And it hasn't seemed to, because every time he goes to Psycho Lewis, it's before the Olympia, and then we see what he looks like. Not saying it's Chris's fault, Lewis's fault. Now he's going to these shows without stopping in LA and going directly to the show. He always looks better. So I think it may not just be the training that's screwing him around. It's just him not being at home, like Phil is saying, being in your comfort zone, being around the friends like this and stuff, and your crew and stuff. You're just going to train better. You're going to feel better. You're going to have less cortisone going through your body. You're going to look better. So I think that's kind of what's going on here, and it's good. That's a good sign. And after seeing this video here, I think Andrew is definitely locked in for third, maybe push Derek for second, because he's huge. He is huge. Like, you forget he's so massive and wide, and his face looks sucked down. So he looks like he's going to be in shape from what we can see. Chris Salcido says he looks good. So I think there is going to be a surprise at this show. I think something's going to happen that we're like, oh, fuck, that shit. Samson might lose. Samson might lose this.
I mean, think about
that. Would be the
Chris Aceto is not going to make whatever quote unquote mistakes were made with Andrew for the Olympia. Yeah. Chris is a very smart guy. He's not going to repeat. I'm sure he took notes on every little bite of food and everything that went into that guy's body the last couple weeks before the show. He's not going to mess up twice. He'll bring him in better. Let's like Derek, even though Derek's not working with Hani, he's not going to make the same mistakes. Chris is going to bring him in. Everyone's going to look better in the Olympia. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I agreed. And the lighting is in Andrew Jack's favor at the Arnold. He was so dark, and he's one of the darkest competitors on the stage that he just gets blended into the background. So this is James Hollingshead, just posted this video, giving us a sneak peek here. So I'm going to let you guys assess this, showing the hamstrings and the glute tie-in here.
There's a lot of bending over action going on here.
Yeah.
Is it the bikini?
I don't know. Is this wellness?
Is it wellness? So we're getting a look here at James. Coach Abdullah has James in seventh. The waist looks tight here for James, actually, which I was surprised to see, because I know, Phil, we were looking at the video of him before. He was posing with his coach.
Yeah, his stomach looks better.
Yeah, so it looks like he's got the Christmas tree in, tight lower back. It's hairy as a mofo here.
Oh, freaking hairball.
But the waist, look at that waist, I haven't thought.
Yeah,
the chest. Yeah. Full side quad, chest. Oh, and he's 263 here, he said, beginning of the video. 263.
I'd like to see a little more detail and striations overall, but I'm very nitpicky. He looks great. Wish him the best.
Yeah,
Phil, what do you?
I agree with Ron. I think he needs, but I think also because he's growing up against such big guys, and this is the mistake some of these pros make, these elite guys. If they're going into a show with bigger guys, they want to be super full. And it's understandable, but it's hard to be completely peeled and super full at the same time. It's very hard to nail both of those combos, right? And I think that's what he's trying to do. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. Yeah. But I like James when he's shredded. I've seen him shredded and peeled. But like I said, even now the Giant Killer, I mean, he looks like he's going to come in bursting full too, because he's more on the shorter side. So these bigger guys they know they're going against, they're trying to come in more full, and they'll rather not be as super conditioned, if it makes sense. So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm trying to pause it there. Yeah, there's the ab and thigh. I mean, we're gonna see. Can he be in that seventh and sixth? Yeah, I think he's got enough mass and shape and symmetry and structure to hang there. So I definitely think he's going to be in the money in the mix there. Not sure top 6, but just on the outside cusp of that, I think is a good solid bet. If you're betting on this show for James to be in that area there, Carlos Thomas Jr. I want to get your opinion on this video here, which we'll go to Brandon after. What do you think? This was him 2 weeks out. Do you think he's just flat here? Like, look at the triceps and the delts, and it's a little on the smaller side. I mean, usually he's round and full, so I'm thinking he must just be flat. What do you guys think? Are you excited?
You can be flat and still see striations and lines. I mean, even when I'm super flat, like getting ready the year I won the Orlando, and even if I go back to the year I took third, I think me and Patty went back to that video, and I was flat, but you could still see details and lines and veins and striations. So I don't think that's the problem. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what's going on with Carlos.
Yeah, I think I'm there a little bit.
Is there another part of this might be just a really bad angle and lighting. Is there any other part that might show him a little bit more favorably?
Yeah. Is it lighting for us too? Just eating my. Let's see. So
We're losing like audio.
Can you hear me okay?
Now you're choppy, a little choppy in and out.
Okay, I can see it. Looks like it's me. It's giving me a bit of a lag. It's coming back though. Okay. I see myself moving again. There we go. Yeah, let's get a different angle here.
Yeah, I don't see it. Even when he stands up right. Unless he's purposely making sure the lighting, he's keeping it dark so we can. But I mean, you can still see. I don't see like a Brandon Curry doing a row in his back shots. You can see the veins, you can see the thin skin, you can see the different muscles popping from his delts to his mid back and lats. I don't see that with Carlos. But once again, probably he's fooling us. Probably I don't know. Probably the picture isn't recent. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if
this is 2 weeks out. I mean,
I'd be concerned if this is a real representation of the condition.
Yeah. 2 weeks out in the gym, he's always got a pump on. Usually that's when you're looking really good. Like, let's go to the GOAT, Brandon Curry. What do you think when you see Brandon looking like this? You guys have seen him. You've interviewed him in person. You've seen him on stage. What do you think this version of Brandon? Is this a 2022 version? 2019? I mean, is he going to shock a lot of people?
So he was at his best 5-6 years ago. I mean, that's when he was winning Olympia, winning the Arnold. So that wasn't that long ago. I mean, this is the best I've seen him look in a very long time.
Yeah.
And you made that post about you believe he's honestly going to beat Lunsford. You know what? Maybe he will. Who knows?
Yes, if he's properly peaked. Yes.
Anybody that's right, I would never write Brandon off. I mean, he's still. Yeah. It's not like he's got he doesn't have any injuries. He hasn't lost any size in the legs or anything like some guys. Everything's still there. He's had last minute crises in the ER and stuff, and still done very well. I like this Brandon. I like this look. It's full. His skin looks thin. Separation, vascularity. I think he could shock us. I think he might end up in third, fourth, maybe. I definitely see him in top 5.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's doing carb cycling. Is what I heard over. It's crazy though. I think carb cycling. I did it one time, and it made me look crazy. I think it made me come down a little bit in size, but it gave the illusion of more size. That's what I did with Dave Palumbo. That's what I did with Phil Viz. The carb cycling, and it's showing in his condition. It's showing, and I think that he's not as big as he used to be, but he don't need to be. because his structure, his flow, his symmetry, he don't need to be that big. But Brandon got killer shots, side chest, side triceps, his waist. I think I don't think, man. This is a look at his eyes. This guy means business. He's serious. Um, he's gonna have to move up on my placing
Yeah.
because I don't think I think we're gonna see an eye opener. I think after the Olympia, Brandon found out that he needs to bring it, and I think he's
Yeah.
going to do so. I mean, if I was competing against him, I wouldn't even believe I'll be able to beat him the way I'm
Yeah.
seeing him look right now.
Yeah, man. Like he I don't know. I've been watching Brandon in his training videos when he's in Kuwait or whatever that gym is, Oxygen, when he's training and getting ready for his previous shows, and he didn't even really look like this. So the fact that he's looked this jacked, is Justin Harris his coach? Chopin or whatever that guy's handle
Yeah,
is on.
Justin. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I think he
I
is.
think
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's Justin
this
Harris.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think whatever cycle they have Brandon on, whatever they changed up, it's the juices are flowing much more than I think we've seen or what it used to be. And he's taking it serious, more serious. I think that he's home, he's with his family, he's got his kids right there, and the motivation. Come home to them after the gym, and it's a different feeling for him. So
He looks
I think,
healthy. He looks
yeah,
good. I think when he goes over to Dubai and stuff, I think they push a lot of it too much, and it does affect your look. It stresses your body out, and
yeah,
could be a big reason why you end up in the hospital. I don't even think he's on much of anything right now. I just
yeah.
think he's just look how happy,
He's
relaxed. When you look
smiling.
at him when he's in Dubai,
Yeah,
you don't see this. You don't see the smiles.
no,
You don't see he's having fun, and this is when you bring your best. When you're just having fun and just
yeah,
going to bring the best you, and he is, and he
yeah,
looks dead freaking serious. Like you look at his eyes,
yeah.
he's in the zone.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. He's confident because he knows the glutes and the hamstrings are in already. They've been in, so he's just fine tuning things. And man, I'm just excited to see this guy again on the good Arnold Classic stage lighting, where again he didn't look it's just for these darker complexion guys. They don't translate well on the Olympia stage with the unfortunately terrible lighting of the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. They can afford all the background lighting and all the lasers and beams and all that stuff, but they can't get the lighting proper, which is just watching that live stream was just atrocious. Like it was like pieces of them were missing because it was so dark on the black guys.
The problem isn't really the lighting. It's those giant LED screens. Because if you've
Yeah,
ever taken a photography course or you know anything about it, the camera's always going to zoom in on the brightest object. So if you have a bright background behind someone with a very dark complexion, it's awful. They're going to get washed out. They're going to look, even I look at the footage of Samson at the Olympia and I'm like, geez, I know I was there. Samson looked a lot better than that.
yeah,
What are you
yeah.
gonna
That's the thing too. And then we're trying to do our analysis of the shows, and then and then we, that's all we got to look at, right? So at least the 4K video comes out right away usually, so we can kind of take it off of that a little bit. That helps. But Sean Clarita, another update here. I don't know if you guys had him in the top. Let's go back to the.
I think I did. Didn't I have him in fifth?
Ron has him in fifth, yeah,
Yeah.
and Phil has him. So okay, so it's a big deal. Fifth in the with this lineup is a big deal. So you guys are sticking with that. You're
Yeah,
not, yeah,
I think he's going to stay in the. I think he's going to be in the top five. I truly believe that.
five, and then Phil has Akeem fourth, and Ron has Brandon fourth. And I have
Yeah,
Brandon
like I
fifth.
might, like I said, I may
Yeah.
have to change. I'm going to have to change Curry and bring him up.
Okay.
Um,
So let's do it now. Let's do it now. We've got days to go. So we're gonna put Curry in
fourth. I'm going
fourth,
to switch with Akeem.
and then where's Akeem? And then this is sixth. No. Yeah, sixth.
Yeah.
Sixth, yep. Okay. I'll leave it capitalized. I know that's the ones you changed. Okay. Ron, any last minute changes?
I'm tempted to swap Curry and Andrew, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it as is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave mine. Unless I see some updates like on Wednesday or Thursday or something, then I might have to change it. All right. So yeah, Sean's looking good. I was gonna do that, but the volume doesn't work, so I'm gonna leave it there. Samson's in Ohio. He says he's depleting, and that he's eating like 3 eggs. And Bill, when you deplete, how do you do no carbs like Samson?
I don't deplete the week of the show. No,
That's
I
what he's doing
stay.
right
I'm
now.
pretty much depleted. Let's say if we're doing 15, 16 weeks out, by the time we're at like week 8 and 9, I'm depleted. I mean, I'm only getting 2 low carb meals in my first 2 meals, and there's
Yeah.
no more carbs. The problem with me is, which Blue is learning, is if you deplete me that long, I need practically 10 days to carb up. I can't carb up like these guys, like start carving up on Wednesday. It doesn't work for me. So because I'm so depleted so long. So I have to start like the following Sunday. And I think the last for the Tampa Pro, we carved up a lot, but my problem was I did a carb drink because I had Derek bring me that carb drink by the company from Hani, and that's
Oh,
something I never did. I never ever did that before. I never drink a carb drink while I'm pumping up, and
yeah.
that set me over at Tampa. I never said anything, but when we were sitting back, Patty was like, "Did you drink that carb drink when you were pumping up?" And it just spilled me over.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I need a lot of time to carve up, and a lot of coaches I've had saw that. Even with Phil Viz, even though he did a really great job, I will always say that I didn't like his personality, but as a coach, with me,
Mhm.
I'm not going to say he
Yeah.
did it with everybody. He did a good job with the Shed. I saw him in Canada several years ago, and he brought him in shredded.
Mhm.
With me, he doesn't do a great job. That's why I call him Spill This. But with me, what he did with me worked because everybody's
Yeah.
body is different. But the carb loading, we had to do tons of sugar because once again, I'm very hard to carb load. And I always get the thing with Steve saying, you're flat in prejudging. You got to carb up for the final. So yeah, I don't deplete. A lot of people are doing that. That's another old school way too. Like they'll deplete from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like 3 days, and then they'll start carving up the last 3 to 2 days prior to the show. I can't do that because I'm depleted. I think that's the error. I could be wrong, but I think that's the error with Samson. Probably he's intaking too much carb for too long and then trying to deplete to tighten
Mhm.
up, and then carb load again. I think the body has to stay in a deficit, completely depleted for a good while, and then carb up. Probably Thursday, Wednesday, Friday, so forth.
Yeah. Based on what he was saying in his stories, he's saying, I'm starting my depletion now and I got a very low food. So that would mean he was on carbs up until just like
Hmm. Yeah.
today, basically. And now it's Monday, Tuesday deplete, maybe Wednesday deplete. But for even myself, when I was start to carb, I was almost start carb loading on Thursday, slowly
Yeah.
before the show. If he is a big this like I so hey, it worked for him at the Olympia. So we can't knock what they're doing. It worked at the Olympia, so we'll see what it does here. Sometimes it always doesn't work though.
Yeah, we got to be
So,
better than
so
the Olympia, though. He has to be
yeah,
better if I believe these guys are all going to come on. And
yeah,
I really
yeah,
believe we're going to see pretty much everybody on, right?
yeah,
So we have to be better than the Olympia, and we can't come in with no type of. You got to be careful with the diuretics. You get what I'm saying? And Samson's a big dude, so if he is carving up,
yeah,
allegedly, let's say 2 days, possibly 3 days before the show, then he's got to be shoveling in to fill that body up a lot of carbs.
yes, yeah. Ron, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I remember Cutler used to carb up on 1,000 grams a day of carbs for like the last 3-4 days for Olympia. Honestly, I am a prep coach for amateurs. I don't really believe carb depleting and loading has the magical effect that most people want it to have. I think it makes more sense to be fairly consistent with your carbs and eat up a little bit more. But the whole depleting thing, we took that practice from endurance athletes, the whole carb loading thing. These guys aren't running a marathon. They don't need 50 buckets of spaghetti the night before the contest or something like that. If
Yeah.
you're that flat and depleted, usually it's not a matter. It's nothing that carbs are going to fix. It means they've over dieted and they've lost muscle. I've never seen anyone who was super flat a week out end up looking full at the show. It's typically a case of they lost muscle and they don't get it back for a few weeks after the show. But I also don't think we're going to see any more updates from these guys from this point forward. I don't think they should be posting any updates because let's keep people in a little bit of a suspense.
I hope they do. Then we got nothing to talk about on our YouTube. But
don't you like to be surprised though?
Even with how they look before they step on stage, it still doesn't always look the same. So it's like it doesn't even matter with the updates, but at least we can get the process. We can see, even like when Ronnie and them used to do these press conferences, and like Ronnie you could see his arm through his sleeve, and you're like, holy shit, he's gonna win the show. Look at Ronnie, like, right? That's why we want to see like these guys, because you can tell when they're getting close and things are really popping, or if they're flat and they're not filled up, and it's Friday and they still look flat. Like people like me and you, we know and feel like we know when someone's not like, those veins should be pumping right now. It's Friday before you're about to step on stage. So that's why I like to see these guys all the way up to the show, see how they're looking. And kudos to Samson for giving us, full access here. Like, this is awesome. As the Mr. Olympia, like every day in his stories, we're watching what he does, right? Which is cool. So that's good. That's what I think Olympia should do, and show his fans, people around the world, what he's doing, what it takes, all this shit you got to go through, get ready for the show, and little peak week training and all that. So he's there. There you go. See the arms here. Yeah, man.
Big dude.
Big, fucking huge.
All the way big dude.
Yeah. You get an idea, the fullness here. So it's there. It's not gone. And he's there early in Ohio, acclimatizing. So right now I still have Samson as the front runner, but Derek could shock a lot of people. He could shock a lot of people and beat this guy. It's done it before. Derek's the only guy that's done it before. Brandon hasn't beaten. Oh yeah, Brandon. I guess he was competing back when Brandon won. I think Samson was competing then. I
think he was 6th that year. The last year Brandon beat him.
Yeah. So yeah, see, just when I can look at someone training, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's pumped. He's things are working. It doesn't look flat, even though he's depleting right now. This is him depleted. Three egg whites or whatever in coffee. Yeah, right. If he really does it, like maybe he's having.
If he's depleted, I'm somewhere on my eyes. He looks nice and full.
Exactly. So yeah, he's good. He's got it. He's got it. So we'll see how he does. But the face looks thin and leaned out and everything too. So cheekbones, the eye sockets, everything's there. All the little details you need to look for when a guy's suffering. He looks like he's suffering. So good on Samson Dauda. So let's go back to. I already have that. Okay. Let me X out here. Sam Sulek, Sean Ray. Yeah, I don't want to forget that. Let's find it here. It's not gonna play. I'll play it, but I don't think you're gonna hear it. Let me know if you guys hear this. Nothing?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's saying it won't be too far-fetched putting a bet on Sam Sulek winning.
Oh, hang on. I know a way to do this. Hold on. I got this.
Oh, yeah.
Put it on my phone, up to the microphone.
Yeah. I'm going to troubleshoot this, guys, because this is pissing me off that I can't. It's not coming through my browser.
Beyond the Stage TV. What's that? Does Sean Ray think?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got their. God, they post a lot this page, don't they?
I know Bob Ciccarello was gangster hammering freaking Nick Walker like that. I know.
Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit too. We didn't talk about that on this show.
Where is?
Before we wrap it up here.
Okay. Oh, here we go.
I wouldn't be so far-fetched to feel out of place putting a bet that he wins his pro card in Columbus, Ohio. What's good for Sam is good for us. It's good for the sport, but good for the visibility. Now, that being said, even though he's a newbie competing, he's been lifting weights for a minute. He's got a base. He's got a foundation. He's not a slouch, and he's been doing the supplements, so to speak, for a hot minute. So he's not just some random guy. He's another guy that just happens to have a spotlight and a platform that's much, much bigger than the guy from Podunk, One Horse Town, Texas. So Sam gets the pro card. Who's upset?
All right. Thank you, Ron, for
I'm upset if he gets the pro card and he doesn't deserve it. If he beats
yes.
I'm upset when anybody beats somebody unjustly, and that's what it seems to me. We were kind of. Am I reading into it? Isn't that what he was kind of saying? Like it's better for Sam to win the pro card than to somebody who doesn't have millions of followers.
Oh yeah, he was saying that and more.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm putting words in his mouth.
No.
I mean, what I'm hearing as well with that is what's good for him is good for us. I thought that we judges judge what's on the stage. We don't judge. I heard Dan Sullivan say, we don't care about your Instagram following and how many people are following you. You have to bring what it takes to win a show. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan, but I do respect. But I'm not a big fan of either one of these guys. But don't display that because now you're sending mixed signals that it's okay if the judges reward him, even if he doesn't deserve it because of his platform. That's how I'm taking it. And no, that wouldn't be okay. And that's not what bodybuilding is all about.
Agreed.
That being said, I don't think he has the greatest shape and structure, Sam, for classic physique. So I think he could be up against some guys that are even in his own class that are going to have superior physiques to him. If not, then he gets his pro card. But it's just going to come down. These judges aren't going to give Sam Sulek a pro card just because he's Sam Sulek. And why is it good? How is that good for the sport that he wins? What does that do for us as is it going to bring more people competing, buying tickets? What is that? Sam Sulek fans are Sam Sulek fans, whether he's an amateur, a pro, or if he never steps foot on stage again. I don't think his fans give a crap about. They want us. They'd love to see him win. They love him, but if he doesn't, it's not like they're going to abandon him. And if he does, it's not like we're going to all support the IFBB and the NPC now because Sam got a pro card. They don't care. Most of Sam's fans don't care at all about the competitive aspect of bodybuilding at all. They love Sam. They love his videos, his personality. He motivates them. He inspires them. They think he's a cool guy, and they don't give a shit if he had never stepped on stage or if he win. I saw one of his fans say he's going to win his pro card here, and then he's going to come back and win the classic physique at the Arnold Pro next year.
No.
Yeah, he'll beat Ruffin. He'll beat Ramondino. He'll beat Urs, Summerfield. He'll beat all those guys. These poor kids are in prep.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. So someone's saying here that all he said it was a good thing for the sport if Sam wins. You guys are putting words in his mouth. No, I mean, it sounds like Sean is kind of saying, it would be good for the sport if he won, if they gave it to him. I don't know. Maybe we're reading into it wrong. I don't know. I just
Yeah, whatever. I'm not reading into anything wrong.
Who's going to be upset if he wins? That's the line that stuck with me.
Okay.
If he deserves to win, I'm very happy for him. God bless
Exactly.
him. If he doesn't deserve to win and he wins,
we're not against that.
I don't want to see any bodybuilder win when they shouldn't. I want to see everybody works so damn hard. You want to see the judges do the right
best
thing.
Man win.
Yeah. Well, with the judges that's going to be there, which I'm not going to say their names. Of course, everybody knows Big Steve is going to be there, but I don't see these judges judging just because of who he is. I just don't see that. Mm-hmm. I think the competition he's going to have here at Arnold is going to be way tougher, obviously, than a little regional show with 4 or 5 guys in it. No disrespect. He's a good bodybuilder, but he doesn't have all the criteria and shape and structure and that whole classic physique flow to win a pro card in an established show like this. We will see. But nobody's putting words in anybody's mouth. You know what I mean? Mm-mm. Sean has to be careful how he displays and run his mouth. Okay? So thank you, sir, whoever that was, for saying that. But he's speaking, and we're voicing our opinion from what we're hearing and seeing. And we have all rights to do so.
Exactly. No, we're not putting any words in anyone's mouth here. Sean speaks for himself. And I see what Ron was saying in regards to Sam or Sean saying that, what if they don't give it to him, how's it going to look? Or if they do give it to him, how's it going to look?
Well, he started arguing me in the comments section, Sean. saying, did Ronnie
Oh.
deserve it when he came in? Did Ronnie deserve the Mr. Olympia in 2003 when he came in bloated and waterlogged? I said, what does that have to do with anything? I said, yeah, the Mr. Olympia used to be, the judging at the Mr. Olympia used to favor the reigning Mr. Olympia heavily. It was
Yes.
very hard to take down a reigning Mr. Olympia. Dorian won a couple he shouldn't have won. Ronnie won a couple he shouldn't have won. Jay won one that he shouldn't have won. Go back, Lee Haney came in off. I mean, that was the old days. We've seen 7 different Mr. Olympia champions in the last 8 years. They don't play anymore. If you're not, they don't care if you're Mr. Olympia. The best guy on that stage is going to win, whether you were Mr. Olympia champion last year or whether you were 8th place last year. If you're the best on that day now, you're going to win the show.
Yeah, I agree with that. And based on what you're saying too, with history, they're switching Olympias almost every year. That should say something. The judges aren't being like, "Oh, he's the past Olympia. We got to give him favor. If he misses a little bit off, we'll give it to him." They're like, "No, fuck that shit. Whoever's the best man is going to win the show." Yeah. So just because Sam Sulek's come into the show, I don't think the judges are going to give it to him just because he's popular. He's already comes to the expos. He's already without competing.
Yeah,
they already have him as a speaker on the stage. Like they don't need him to compete to bring people to the expos and to the shows. So I don't think they're going to favor him to a win. I think Sam deserved to win at his last show. It wasn't stiff competition, but he won, whatever. He's good. Like Phil said, it's going to be stiffer competition. We'll see some big boys out there, hopefully. Sometimes the Arnold Amateur, we don't know. But we'll see. And, you know, if he's the best man on the stage and it's a weak lineup, not discrediting the people, but if it's not a competitive lineup, I should say, not weak, then, yeah, he might pull it off and get a pro card. Because I think each class winner gets their pro card, if I'm right. I'm not sure, but
I think it's just the overall.
Okay. Then if it's that's gonna be a little tougher for Sam.
That's gonna be tough. And then you gotta look at too. This is a big show, so nerves are gonna set in. But listen, I like the guy, bro. I wish him luck. I hope he goes in there and hammers it. But everybody just gotta, just have a little bodybuilding common sense and say, hey, listen, there's a possibility, but it depends on the lineup and the competition is going to go against. Listen, we can sit here and say people winning a pro card. If you win your pro card easy or something is somewhat given to you, then when you get on that pro stage and really go against good pros, you're going to see you don't belong.
Yep. Totally. So we'll see how Sam does. Is the Arnold Amateur on a Wednesday or Thursday? Because
it might be a Thursday.
It's Thursday and Friday. It wraps up, I think, Friday morning or Friday afternoon.
And can you find out when men's open bodybuilding prejudging is?
Is it Friday?
Yeah,
Friday night.
You're talking about Friday night? Yeah, Friday night. It's after 7:00 start time, and they have wellness, fitness, classic physique finals, and then open men judging Friday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it did on the live stream update. It just says classic physique and wellness, and there's no open. It doesn't say open bodybuilding anywhere. I'm like, where the fuck is the main show? Like, guys. Yeah. So it's fucking funny. But anyways, I'll look into it more because I was trying to plan out the day there.
Party.
I don't want to miss it and be like, oh. But all right. Nick Walker, Bob Ciccarello says this guy ain't ever winning this Mr. Olympia. What do you guys think? This guy can ever win a Mr. Olympia?
We got to be careful how we word our words. Okay. Mm-hmm. Once again, we all have the right to voice our opinions. And remember, everybody has to understand that's his personal opinion, and he has the right to make that. It goes back to what I said earlier. These guys are professional athletes. To disrespect and use words like that, because that's what it is. You can be professionally harsh, but he went in. And then talking about his H frame or whatever the hell he called it.
The H taper.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on, man. Listen, Bob's been around. He I'm not going to say he don't know what he's talking about, because he does. I may not care for him much, but I'm going to give him that respect. But as a athlete's rep, I think we have to conduct ourselves a little bit better than that, especially when we're speaking about athletes and you're supposed to say you're defending athletes and you've been doing so much stuff in the past to help out athletes. I don't think going in on Nick like that. I do think it depends how the cards fall. He can enter Olympia and everybody isn't on. So I'm not going to say he'll never. I mean, that's very harsh. I'm not going to say he'll never win a Mr. Olympia. but it is possible. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
Never is a very strong word. That's a word you got to be very careful with. Never going to win. And that's complete discounting any future chances. And I mean, we said that there's so many Mr. Olympias over the years that's been said about. Jay Cutler was never going to win the Olympia. People used to say that. Brandon Curry was never going to win an Olympia. Sean Roden was going to never win. There were every Mr. Olympia champion, probably every single one, at some point, somebody said that about them. I mean, yeah, Nick does not have the prettiest shape and structure, no, but you know what? Who knows? Like Phil said, if he comes in looking just insane one time and catches a few people off, you know, we've seen so many shakeups at the Olympia over the years. You never know what's going to happen. And to write someone off like that, you know, I would never do that. It's just not, it's not realistic because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think what Phil is alluding to as well is that Bob says he's the athlete's representative. You're supposed to represent as a whole body the athletes in the IFBB Pro League, and there he's saying, I'm not a fan of Nick Walker, and he's got an H taper, and he's going in the wrong direction. Just boom, 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 shot after shot after shot at Nick Walker on the Cutler cast, and he's the athlete's representative. Sean Ray can say that all day long. Who cares? It's Sean Ray. He's not an athlete's representative. Lee Priest can say it all day. I can say it. Ron can say it. Phil can say it. But for the athlete's representative to say that, talk like that, be very harshly critical of Nick Walker, who he's going to see at the show, who he's going to announce his name at the show and be like, what are you going to pretend to be nice and be his friend backstage after saying things like this to him? Right? It's a little much for Bob to be saying that. Not saying what Bob is saying is wrong, or you know, maybe he's being a bit accurate about the H taper. Yeah, maybe he doesn't have the best X frame out there, but
he never did. He never did when he went pro. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Nick Walker is known as the mutant. Nick is going back to what he was known as because he was trying to do the other thing, come down, be more shredded, which he lost his legs, and he was doing all these crazy things, thinking that was going to make him better. When he was the mutant and just be who you are. We're not all blessed with the best structure and physique. You know what I'm saying? But if you were winning looking a certain way, he always comes in condition. You know, he was a little off for the Pittsburgh, the New York last year. It was a little off, right? But he's known as that. So Nick is going back to his roots. Nothing wrong with that. So you don't need the prettiest physique to win a big show. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just us as professionals and sitting here and analyzing, you know, and that's why I hope these top athletes don't show any more pictures, because the criticism that comes out of a lot of people's mouths, it affects them as they're going into the show because it's so close. They're watching. Trust me when I tell you they're watching, because I get texts from a few of them. So they're watching. So we still have to be respectful of their feelings. We can speak our mind and be, you know, upfront and you know, say, hey, you know, we don't think it's going to be that way, or it's going to be this way, or they're a little off. We have the right to say that as analysts, right? But to completely trash an athlete, I would never do that. I would never do that, because I would not like it if it was to come back on me.
Yeah.
When he came in big and freaky at the 22 Olympia, the only two people in the world who beat him were Hadi Choopan and Derek Lunsford. You know, that's the winning formula for him, is being big and freaky. He's never going to have a little dainty waist no matter what he does. Yeah. So playing that game didn't work for him. When he tried to come down lighter for the Arnold the following spring, didn't work out for him. So, you know, give this kid a chance. Let's see what he's got left.
Yeah, agreed. You know, Nick, look at Jay Cutler. Was Jay Cutler a pretty physique?
Nope.
He won the Miss Olympia 4 times.
Yeah.
So it just matters what the next guy looks to like standing next to Nick Walker. If Samson's off, if you know, Hadi is off, or whoever, because in my opinion, those guys need to be off in order for Nick to bypass them. Same with definitely for Samson. So Nick's got a great physique, but he's been gone for 2 years. He got 3rd at the Olympia. Times have changed. Just because you got 3rd at the Olympia 1 year doesn't mean you're always 3rd in 2024 and 2025. No, it changes. So I think he's got to remember that. He's got a new lineup, and Martin Fitzwater's there as well. So we're gonna see. I'm excited to see Nick Walker. I'm a big fan of him. He's a great competitor. He's great on stage. He brings a strong presence to the stage, and he makes it fun to battle out there with everyone. So we're gonna see him compete soon, and obviously I hope he qualifies for the Olympia. It'd suck if somehow he just doesn't beat these guys, but I want to see him on the Olympia stage battling again. We've missed him for 2 years, and now it's good to see him come back, and it's gonna be good. So that is that with Bob. Now, one last quick little update. So someone asked, they wanted to see. Let me just get out of this. Sergio,
Wow.
what are you
He's
guys?
looking good. He's looking good.
Yeah.
He's been posting some
Double
updates
bicep.
here.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, what show is he doing again?
Is it the new one, the FIBO or
Oh, yes. When is
Yeah.
that again? Is that April? It's
I
April.
don't know.
It's
Ron,
FIBO's
you
always in
always know
April.
when he shows
Yeah.
up. Ron always knows.
Yeah. I used to
No.
go to FIBO. I can't remember. I think it's in April. Yeah.
So I think they haven't had that show for a couple of years, but they brought it back.
Yeah. I think it's April. So if it's April, it's March almost. So yeah, like 5-6 weeks out here, depending on when in April it is. So his one shoulder looks smaller than the other here. That's the only thing I noticed with this photo. Is like, what is going on with this photo? Something looks off.
It's the way he's posing. It's the way he's posing.
Yeah,
Okay,
you could
okay.
tell. It's just because I've seen him in other videos. And this is a very good Sergio. I'm a
Yeah.
Sergio fan from the past. I've competed against him at Tampa a while back, and I wish he would have just kept that look Sergio had was the look. And I think he got caught up once again, which we all do, want to play the big game, and it normally don't work out. We have to just stay in our element. He's a great poser, great presentation. From what I'm seeing, he's putting
No
it together
legs.
well,
No
and
legs.
I think he's gonna do very well. I think he's gonna qualify for the Olympia at this show. Well, depending on who shows up, but he looks good.
Martin Fitzwater is doing the FIBO.
Oh.
Okay.
So that might damper his
Well, I'll just sit back. Let me just shut my mouth.
So
I gotta give Martin all the respect. Martin's on fire right now.
Yeah, there's most muscular. Ron, what do you think? What do you think's going on? People making comments that he's got no legs, got no lats.
That's no legs, really? Come on. Massage gun.
huge.
Come on. Stop commenting when you're smoking crack.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. No.
Yeah.
His back, he's got high lats. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
You could say that about a few guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Hakeem's lats are higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
And we got him in the top
He's
five.
won.
Top six.
He won a show already. Yeah. So
Conditioned. If Sergio comes in conditioned, he's capable of beating most people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few guys that'd be very tough for him to handle, sure. But if he picks his shows, and if I were him, I wouldn't do just one show.
No.
I would hit a few shows. Why not?
Yeah. Agreed. He needs to get his stage presence back and peak weeks and figuring it out and stuff. So it's better to do more shows and test the waters than just do one.
And doing those shows over there. What's our boy Milos' guy? Yeah, I mean, he's got to be careful. Even going out to the European circuit. Sergio, he's a great bodybuilder. He still is. But I'm looking at if I ever decided that, hey, I want to do one more open show, I'm just trying to make the top 10. You know what I mean? Because I got to give these guys the respect that they fully deserve. These guys are getting nastier and nastier year after year. You know what I mean? And it's definitely a young man sport. And I'll give it that. You know what I mean? But, if I wasn't ever to decide to do that, you know what I mean? I'm going in with a common enough sense that, hey, I can bring my best me and just try to break the top 10 against these guys. But Sergio is going to do very great. But yes, this new generation of bodybuilders is elite. So it is tough.
All right, so that's an update on Sergio. One last thing before we go. I know we're running a little long here, but I wanted to get this one in here with Brandon Curry. Brandon Curry doing the Masters Olympia.
Oh.
What's your thoughts on the age cutoff and all that stuff? Theo Clayhar. What's your
I
thoughts
mean,
on this?
we spoke, me, Blue, and several people, I'm not going to call their names, spoke about it. I even had a discussion with a fitness pro the past couple of days ago. I'm not going to say her name because a lot of us, are DMing about not just that, but just about the money.
Yeah.
There's no host hotel. So
Oh,
far, there's no like Romania food set up. In Romania, the food was really feasible for us to, because you're not carrying food for 7 days. It's just not going to happen. Um, but yeah, if he enters it, that changed up. Honestly, I'm going to be very transparent. It's going to change a lot with my decision because I got enough professional sense. You got to weigh the options here. They're giving away 20 grand. Is that a lot of money? No.
no.
It's the Master Olympia, right? So you kind of figure the top five should have been covered somehow to be able to go back into the show. That's what I believe. And we were talking about this, several pros, like I said, I'm not going to say the name, and elite pros, that compensation, some type of compensation should help us to be able to get there. Romania wasn't bad. Japan is very, very expensive. The hotel rooms start at 200 and change a night, and we're getting no discount.
Okay, quick question. Do you get your hotels paid for in flight when you do the normal open Mr. Olympia?
No, you don't get, but we get a host hotel, so there's a discount rate on a hotel.
Okay.
It was
Crazy.
one in Romania. So when I stayed in Romania, I think it was 3 days, 3.5 days. We want to say 4 days. I spent like $400 some for the hotel for those days. If I go up 7 days in advance, it's going to cost me almost $1,500, if not more, for a hotel room for 7 days. Right? Then you got to look at the food that we didn't calculate because Japan is not cheap.
Yeah,
right?
you can't eat. Yeah,
You got 20 grand you're playing for. Now you got Curry in the Masters. Let's say you get another surprise in the Masters, right? So I got to have common enough sense. So I'm looking at possibly second, third, or fourth. I'm not making my money back for that travel. You know what I'm saying? So Curry being in this really changed up a lot of things. Now, some other master competitors are going to do it regardless. They just want to be on that stage and do it and just be a contender and participate. You know what I mean? Me, I got too much going on in my life for that. So when I heard Curry was getting in it, I mean, not saying I'm not doing it yet, but it mixes up a lot of things. But I'm trying to look at and find out, the food, how we're going about the food, why we don't have a host hotel. We have to have something because the Mr. Olympia, you know what I mean? Not saying it's on the same level, but it's still Olympia. You know what I'm saying? At least the top 5 from the year prior should get some type of help. I don't know, but it's very pricey to do this. For Brandon to go in, let's say Brandon placed in the top 5, right? I think the top 5 gets paid at Arnold. Yeah. Plus, he has a tangible sponsor. He still cruising to the show. He said it's a hefty travel, depending on with his kids' activity and stuff like that. But with him being in the show, and let's just say, just for shits and giggles, right? Kai jumps in. Oh hell! I mean, come on. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think. But he did say it depends on where he plays. But I think Brandon, it makes sense because it's right before the Mr. Olympia is saying, so it makes more sense depending on the position he's in and how the family lifestyle is going. But him being in it, I just got to have a confident sense. I'm not scared of anybody. It's the money that I'm spending is what's my concern of not getting anything back. I lost by 1 point 2 years ago. So they said. And I spent $8 grand to get there. I didn't even make that money back.
No. I'm actually surprised that they don't pay for the hotels at for the Olympia.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They do. Oh, so that's what I asked. Oh, so they do pay.
Yeah, between the Masters, the Olympia, they pays for that, and you get per diem for food.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So it should be somewhat of the same thing for
or
the
half.
Masters.
Do half of the Masters expenses. Like it's Olympia. Do you have the brand at Olympia? Like why isn't it so?
But like you said, with the age, I think it should be. But I think Helena, I can't recall her name when she did the Olympia TV. She was speaking about that, saying it's difficult because you got to look at it. Giant Killer meets the requirements. Andrew Jack meets the requirements. You start getting these guys going against people, 48, 50, 55 years old. Is it really a fair field? No, it's not.
Yeah, I think because it's bodybuilding, the master should be 45 and up.
Yes, I think that's 40. The way it was when Dexter competed.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they do 40 so they can get some of the younger guys to come in and do the shows and try and get it bigger, bigger
Yeah.
names and stuff.
But if you're a league competitor in the Open, I mean, come on, does it make sense to jump into the show when you're still on your top of your game in the
No,
Open?
no,
No.
no.
But that's just my
So,
take. I'm Ron
yeah.
might believe say something different, but that's just my take on it.
Yeah, Ron, what's
I
your...
mean, the show was created supposedly because Joe Weider wanted Lou Ferrigno to have an Olympia title back in this is early night. When was the first one? 94, I think. And it was over 40 at that time. And they would have separate divisions for over 50, over 60. But really, we considered the over 40 winner was Mr. Olympia. That's Vince Taylor won it a few times. And, I don't think you can go back and change it at this point. But I totally get what Phil is saying. If you have guys who are still killing it on the open stage and they're jumping into this Masters Olympia, they're at a tremendous advantage, and they're gonna be your top placers.
Yes, agreed with that. So do you think 45 should be the cutoff?
Yes, I think it should start at 45 because when they originally did it 2 years ago, they said 45 and over. And because the turnout of the athletes, they wanted more quality competitors, and they brought it back to 40 years old and up.
Yeah.
And they want the best competitors. They want the big names because this show does not make a fraction of the money that the Mr. Olympia makes, obviously. But the more big names they can get, they can probably secure some better sponsorship, pay-per-views, something. It's going to equate to a more profitable show. And at the end of the day, it's a business. They're trying to make a profit.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't do the Masters. When has the Masters been in the U.S.? It hasn't been. I remember it was in Orlando. It was in Florida one year. I think when Dexter.
Last time.
When Dexter
It
did
wasn't. It used to be, Ron. I could be wrong. Wasn't it connected with the Olympia way back in the day? It was like the day before or something.
No, it was never on the same. It was always held separately from the Olympia. I always thought it would have made more sense to have it with the Olympia weekend, but they never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, they can want to make money, which I really, it is a business. But once again, if you're compensating athletes, which you're paying for everyone, I'm not telling them to do that. They're paying for everyone for the Mr. Olympia, right?
Yeah.
The classic physique got 50, 60 competitors. You got to look at all the divisions, correct? So for the Masters, you're looking at the year prior. The top 5 automatically gets an invite, right? Yeah. So we should be. I'm not. I'm just saying. If you could do it for the Olympia, don't make it look like the Masters is downgraded to where I believe I'm not important enough to say, okay, well, let's help them be able to make it to this show so they can put on a show. I don't have a sponsor like Brandon where he don't have to pay anything. They're going to cover for him to go. You get what I'm saying? Or anybody else that's elite competitors that's going to go there. So all I'm saying is it's just fair. If the Olympia does it this way, then probably we should have even half something to help us get out there and want to put on a good show, because I'm not going to go out there and put everything on my credit card and go broke. That's not happening.
Yeah, I agree. The top 5 who can be invited back will cover half your bill, whatever. Just show some professional. Like, I'm not saying they're not professional, but like other sports, they do these things. They take pride in their athletes that are coming, helping them sell tickets. It's part of the show. Like, give some of it back. I understand you got to pay the prize money. You got to put all the money in expenses. But I don't know. Bring it to the States. You'll have a lot more turnout. It'll be a lot. I don't know. That's so far. Tokyo. It's going to be great to go there, experience Tokyo. But I mean, it's tough to get out there for a lot of the athletes. So you may get a lot more American athletes competing in the show. And it's just some of the places that they have these Masters Olympias. It's just tough. So, well, we'll see what happens with Phil, and if you end up doing it in August, you still got some time.
Yeah, I'm still listening. I start diet next month. I'm still going to diet. Yep. I'm hoping as it gets closer, we hear that there's a host hotel. We hear a game plan for the food. These things may happen as we get closer. So I'm not going to just sit back and not diet. I'm going to diet. Worst comes to worst, if I don't do it, I'm going to jump into a miraculous show. Nobody's going to know. I'm not just going to diet and not compete. So we'll see what happens, but I'm waiting to see more detail as the show gets closer. Like what? I'm just shocked there's no host hotel. That was a dagger to me because, like I said, dropping $200 some, that's a lot of money for 7 because I have to go up a week in advance.
There's no host hotel. Do you think it's just they haven't announced it yet, or there's no host hotel? You're on your own.
So far,
They have to get one. They have to.
yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, we're hoping. We'll see.
They're not going to leave everybody hanging in Tokyo. Okay, guys, just good luck.
Hey,
Private
listen,
plane.
some people already got their tickets and they already reserved Airbnbs. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't wait to tell them, because some people are trying to catch the prices when it's cheaper to book their flight. So let's say you start doing that and these people already booked their Airbnb, so you can't wait till the last 2 months and hit us with, at least Romania, we knew we had a host hotel months out, way months out.
Yeah.
Then they gave us the food list and the pricing. We had all that,
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. How hard is it to get a hotel? Don't they have the meetings there and stuff? The athletes meeting, like at the host, like it's not where
I
it
don't
all
even think
happens.
they're having it in a hotel. It may be at the, I don't know, they probably the convention type center there. I don't know. But like I said, once again, hopefully somebody will see this, they'll hear it. Well, like I said, there's other people concerned that it's going to write to the Master Olympia, other pros that's still competing in the Open, and probably their word will get across to them to possibly, a per diem, something. That's what somebody said, some type of per diem,
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Do you ever think you're going to do an open show? Just not announce it. Just be secret.
I'm not. I'm not going to do it. You'll just see my name pop up on the list. I'm not.
Okay.
The Tampa is really, really bothering me because I knew I could have done better. And if I do any show, of course, it's going to be close to home. But no, you'll just see my name pop up on the list. I'm not, like I said, I'm not dieting for nothing. We're going to start next month regardless. And I'm going to compete one more time. If it's a Masters or if it's another open show, I'm definitely competing one more time.
I think so, because if you're going to get in shape in Tampa or when is the Orlando Pro? Is it that usually? Is it?
There's
July
no more Orlando Pro. Orlando Pro's done. She's no longer part. She's no longer part of the IFBB.
Oh yeah, they don't have no Tampa Pro or Orlando Pro or anything.
Tampa Pro is still there.
Okay, Tampa Pro. Okay, so maybe the Tampa Pro you could jump in, or a show in Texas or something that's close to you. So okay. All right, man. We'll wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for coming on. A big weekend, man. It's gonna be awesome. We'll be watching it together, guys. We'll see you then this weekend. Okay. Thanks for
all right, guys.
Take
care.
Okay.
Good
See
night.
you guys.
Good night.
Peace.